and he's always tuning in, so I have to show love.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Kenny. We appreciate you for tuning in.
General, for sure.
I don't know if Uncle Manny's going to be here today either because he's in New York with the kids, so he'll having fun in New York. So
Uncle Manny?
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
he's big time in New York this week.
It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock right now where Uncle Manny's at.
Tucked off.
He might be tucked off for sure.
Well, we know that Uncle Manny will be tuning into the audio version on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So there you go. We still appreciate Uncle Manny and everyone for tuning in, as here we are on episode number 32 of Stats Over Politics. Now, guys, let's get to the heart of this week's episode, and that is the NBA Finals, as the Nuggets and Heat are tied 1-1 in the NBA Finals. Last week, 3 of us picked the Nuggets. Kevin picked the Heat, and the Heat are the first team to take down the Nuggets on their home floor, 5,280 feet, Gary.
They're winning the championship.
It's pretty impressive what the Heat did. And so, Kevin, because of that, I'm going to throw it to you first, since you have the only differing opinion here. What did you think about the Heat stealing home court so far through 2 games?
Man, game 1 was brutal. Game 1 was brutal. You know, the last podcast, you know, we all talked about how Caleb Martin was 1 vote away from Eastern Conference MVP, you know, taking home that Larry, and then he showed up to the finals and left his game in Boston. Same with Max Strus. You know, funny stat, first player in NBA history with 10+ attempts and 0 points. So my man was just throwing up bricks. That's
game 2, though.
Yeah, no, game 2. Yeah, I'm getting there. Game 2, though. They both came to life. Game 1, they're both virtually unplayable. We saw Jimmy kind of come out there and not do his thing. But game 2, like Shaun mentioned, they did something that the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker couldn't do, which win in Denver, handing them their first L. I was telling everybody, if they can't win one in Denver, they're not going to be able to win the series. You got to be able to win one in Denver. They were undefeated up until this point. The Heat really came in and made a lot of adjustments. This was their first win in Denver since 2016, and they came a deficit of 15 points. You know, Gary's guy Bam, he was trying to tell us early, man. In these past 2 games, averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 54% from the field and 100% from the line. I don't know. We all clowned him. We saw the comments. We all
showing up,
and like he said last week, and only one of them still playing. Gabe Vincent came back, you know, with a vengeance, was scoring 23 points. Like I mentioned,
gonna get paid.
Yo, he's gonna get paid. Spoke came in and made a lot of adjustments. Jamal Murray was guarded by Jimmy Butler 4 times, and in game 1 finished with 26 points. Jimmy Butler guarded him 35 times, and he finished with 18. So that matchup alone. And I'm a big LeBron guy, so I can't come on this pod and not give no love to Kevin Love. DNP game 6. DNP game 7. DNP game 1. Throw him in the lineup. Let's see what he can do. We're tired of seeing Nikola Jokic just go at these guys. So we got to mix it up. Throw him out there, bring in that championship level pedigree. And it showed. I know we all saw the clip of him locking up Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. had nowhere to go. So it's looking good for Miami. But to get on with my monologue, 80% of the game 3 winner wins the NBA Finals. And I'm going with the Heat in game 3, baby.
What does
Let it be known.
LeBron have to do with anything?
Hey, man, I got to show love to all his guys. If there was a JR comment, I throw love to JR. He's only all the guys.
They're all off of, like, you know how they do with the coaches, how it's the coaching tree. It's the LeBron tree. It's the LeBron tree of teammates. I mean, because LeBron that was the funny thing too about the Western Conference Finals is they kept saying like, oh, Jeff Green, former teammate of LeBron, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, former teammate of LeBron, and it was just like all of the former teammates
like half the
of
league.
LeBron. Exactly. I mean, when you've been in the league for 20 years, it'll happen.
KCP, former teammate of LeBron.
Exactly. And so I just want to get to a couple of the YouTube comments here. YouTube.com/statsoverpolitics, as Angelo B says he in 7. So
I'm trying to let him know. I'm trying to preach to him. They know they don't want to listen to me, Angelo.
And then Uncle Manny as well checking in from New York. Uncle Manny, we were just saying in the intro, we weren't sure if you were already asleep and then tuning into the audio, but we appreciate you checking in on vacation, Uncle Manny. You want to say anything to your uncle, Gary?
Thought he was asleep. Oh, damn, he didn't mute it, my boy.
You muted yourself. Allergy season has gotten the best of Gary. I mean,
I know. I said shout out to Unc for still tuning in even on vacay. I said shout out to Unc for still tuning in on vacay. I thought he might be asleep right now, but real support.
He had to lock in.
Straight up.
We appreciate Uncle Manny and Kevin. The one thing I wanted to follow up on from what you said, your monologue, and it was all very well said, is you mentioned the two teams that the Nuggets have gotten past, or two of the teams that the Nuggets have gotten past. I just got to say, another loyal listener, your guy Wes, I think he would be a little upset if you didn't mention that the Nuggets also beat Ant-Man and the Timberwolves, because you mentioned Kevin Durant and the Suns, you mentioned LeBron and the Lakers, but you failed to mention the Timberwolves. Yeah. For Wes, I had to make sure that was said before we move on. You got something to say to that, Kevin?
I ain't gonna lie to you. ESPN didn't even post him in the graphic. I could have thought they had a first round bye.
They won a game, Kev. They won a game.
Hey, shout out to the Timberwolves for
the
winning
Lakers
the game.
Couldn't get a game.
That's a fact. So, Gary, what did you think about these first two games that we've seen as it's tied 1-1?
Yeah, looking at my notes here for game one, I written down really it came down to, I ain't gonna lie, I really feel like no matter what, the Denver were gonna win game one just because the Celtics were coming off. No, the Celtics. I wish it was the Celtics, right, Vaughn? The Heat are coming off that brutal series with the Celtics going all the way to game seven. So I feel like, it was gonna be pretty tough. And obviously, like Shaun would say, they're going from sea level to all the way to mountain level, wherever they say. So that was gonna be a pretty tough one for them to win in game one. So I feel like that was they weren't making no threes and they weren't attacking the basket enough. Exactly, mile high. They weren't making enough threes, weren't attacking enough at the rim. And Denver pretty much controlled everything from start to finish, in my opinion, and really chalked it up to Denver. I feel like that was a really gimme game. And game two was the game. Game two was the game for the Heat. If they wanted to win and keep this series alive and make it competitive, like Kevin said, they had to get one. In Denver. My bad, you guys. So sorry. Horrible for the audio. But anyways, so game two, I know Shaun's shaking my head because the producer and him is really pissed off.
No, bro. I was shrugging my shoulders because there's nothing you can do about that. Like, I know firsthand how bad allergies can be and how tough it can be. We appreciate you still joining us even when you're feeling a little under the weather. So please finish what you were saying.
Toddy didn't do it. So credit to you, Gary.
It's all good. We got to
keep one listeners. That was like episode 2.
It's all we all rocking. So I feel like Heat brought it in the first, and then Denver came back and slapped him in the mouth. And the Heat rallied back and were able to control the fourth quarter and get on a run and end the game. They play like a veteran team plays, even though they don't have that many veterans in terms of the key guys playing, other than Bam, Kyle, and Jimmy. Everyone else is still pretty relatively young in the league, and they played in spurts and well. And so when you play clutch time, you play in spurts offensively and defensively great. That's how you can string together a win. And I think the key, and everyone's kind of pointing out Jokic having more turnovers than assists and making them score and the things of that nature. And I know Eric Spoelstra kind of denied that, and I think even the coaches did too. I think it was more, if y'all watched the game, but I got a sense of more like that Jimmy Butler and Jamal Murray matchup making it difficult for him all game, making it difficult for Jamal all game, not getting a rhythm, and not really letting the offense explode, letting the others get rhythm. Now, we don't see Michael Porter hitting threes. We're not seeing too many KCP hitting threes. So when you kind of take the other guys out of the rhythm, taking out, they weren't really in the passing lanes, but they weren't making Jokic having easy dump down passes like he had to Aaron Gordon last game, wide open threes to Bruce Brown. They were taking a lot of those away, especially that zone in the fourth quarter. Again, we all know the Heat zone has been a great on and off switch for them all year long, especially the playoffs. So them just be able to just string together some stops and get into rhythm in that fourth quarter, and Jimmy Butler really putting the dagger in that one, I think really helped the Heat control that game at the very end and get out a W. It wasn't as beautiful or as controlling you would want the Heat to win, but they won in Heat fashion. They grinded it out and they got a W. So I feel like, Denver's obviously my pick. I think if you guys see my IG, I'm just praying for a game 7. I just want a great finals, just keep seeing. So I actually was pulling for the Heat last game, and next game I'll be pulling for whoever because I don't really care. I just wanted to keep tying it up after 4, tied up at 2-2, and let's get it going all the way to game 7. So I think it was so far. I think the Heat and the Denver Nuggets has been a great series, and I think the Heat still have a great chance to win in this series in Denver. If they play their A game, I don't think no one could beat them. But as we've seen last night, when they're not playing their A game, they're able to get beat.
So, Jaevon, you are just like myself in the sense that you picked the Nuggets in 5. So, with the Heat, I mean, I was never worried about the Heat winning a game. That's what goes with us picking the Nuggets in 5. I didn't think it was going to happen this early. I thought it would have been either 3 or 4 in Miami. So I was a little surprised to see the Nuggets lose their first game on their home floor throughout this postseason. So are you confident still in your pick that the Nuggets are going to finish it off in 5, meaning they win the next 3 games?
I'm a little worried. Just based off the fact that the Nuggets kind of controlled the majority of this game. I'd say up until like late third, early fourth, and that's kind of when Jimmy Butler started happening. Bam was knocking down shots. You got Duncan Robinson coming off screens, not flexing on everybody, going to the rack. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Who the fuck is that guy?
That's Duncan Robinson.
So, when you got, Strus is he comes out with like the first 10 points, and you got guys knocking down shots. Gabe Benson I think he had a 23-point game, as Kevin mentioned earlier in his soliloquy. It was kind of just, when the Heat are clicking on all cylinders, they're a really tough team to beat. I know from experience because we just won 7 games with them, we being the Celtics. I mentioned on last week's podcast that usually when Nikola Jokic when he's able to get a lot of rebounds and assists at the same time, they usually win those games. And last night, albeit, Jokic had 41 points. I did not know that prior to this podcast. Before this podcast, I was like, damn, Jokic had 41. They still lost. But he had 11 rebounds, double-double. I think his over was like 12.5. So be careful on those over-unders for those prize picks and those player props. So he only had 4 assists last night. Jamal Murray was the leading assist leader with 10. But he had 18 points, and we saw him have 26 the night before, so he had a bit of a more down night. But I thought he played really well against Jimmy Butler. It was kind of just down the stretch. Jimmy he's like, give me the ball and get the hell out the way, and I'll figure it out. So the Heat are a scary team when Jimmy he'll have a very rough game, but at the end, he'll give you like 15 points down the stretch, and he won't score like the entire game, but he'll score 10 straight. 15 straight. He's a guy that can do that. And when Bam Adebayo is playing the way that he's been playing, shout out to Garry. It didn't age, right. People they want that quick turnaround, Garry. That's what they want, but they gotta let it ride out a little bit. Give it some time.
Let it simmer, baby.
Yeah, you're not Bitcoin. You're more like I'm putting stocks in Apple. I'm not worried about what's going on next week or the week after that. You gotta give it some time. Give it some time. So Gary's take is starting to age like wine. So,
I don't know if I would go that far. I wouldn't go that far. I'm sorry.
It's not.
We were still talking Anthony Davis versus Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo might be a great player on his own. All right, I'll leave it there. I'm just saying it ain't aging like wine for me.
Postseason. Let's keep the context good.
We might be having a little. There might be a. Bam Adebayo has entered the chat. So, if the Heat do get a ring, so I think the Nuggets have to respond, and it's tough because me and you being me and Shaun, we picked the Nuggets in 5 games, but they won the second game at home, and they're going back to Miami with the momentum. Betting man in me says Heat spread.
No way, no how.
But yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. I think the coaching in this series has been top level. I think the Nuggets know how to break this 2-3 zone, but Spo's been sticking with it, and he's been getting some good results these past couple of series. So we'll see how long they stay in this 2-3 zone and see if it's effective. If the Nuggets are knocking down shots like they were in Game 1, then they'll probably adjust to that. But you gotta watch out for the Heat, man. The Heat is on, as all the Heat fans say.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, adding to Von's point, take some they're playing that zone really good. They got to stay really disciplined, and I don't have the stat on me right now, but just to your credit, Von, I was gonna say that I think that Joker's like under 500 when he scored like 40 plus this postseason or something like that. I know he's not. I bet you Kev got it on him. Kev probably got the stat on him. Right? 0-3. See. So exactly. So and And I got this stat too today. You know, slowly.
Oh, Gary has a stat. Breaking news. Okay.
You know me, man. I like the politic, man. Anyways, the record teams this season going into the postseason, or actually in the postseason, trailing by 10 at any point of the game. The rest of the league is 16-64. I bet you Kev already has this one too. And the Heat are what? 7-6. So they're on a positive side. They're a team that doesn't give up. And yeah, simple as that. They don't give up no matter how much they're down. So that's one thing you do got to kind of be worried about with this team. If you're a Denver Nuggets fan, this is because you're up by 15 or even like they were 20 or anything like that. Like the Heat are going to keep coming in waves, and they're going to be able to get some stops and get some points on the board. And especially they've been 3-point snipers, man. There's some of the threes that they've been hitting lately, like catch and shoot, hand in the face, bullseye from all types of players. So especially Kyle Lowry lately too, like he's shooting from deep, and like they're rotating, like Denver's rotating perfectly, hand in the face and everything. It's just knocking them down. So you got to give this Heat team credit, man. When they're hitting these threes, I know they're just not a 3-point shooting team, but like any team in the league nowadays, if you're hitting threes, it makes everything smooth like butter.
I think Hero's supposed to be coming back for Game 3, if I'm not mistaken. So
I don't know about that, because after Game 1, the reports were maybe Game 2. He didn't play Game 2, and when I was at Planet Fitness today, I glanced at the television. Breaking news: Tyler Hero still has a sore wrist. Still sore, still swollen. So
do you believe that, Shaun? Or do you feel like they're doing that on purpose? Exactly. What do you got? Do you feel like they should bring him back or no?
Well, they won without him, but I mean, it'd be nice to have him. It wouldn't be like if he can play and be like, nah, rest of this. Nah, if he could play, then let him play.
And also if Max Strus and Duncan Robinson or Caleb Martin or any other undrafted players, if they tend to go cold, I think they would feel a lot better having Tyler Hero, former like 13th overall pick, I think is what it was. Mm-hmm. So Kentucky, I think they would feel, they would feel a lot better about their chances if they did have Tyler Hero. And
a lot of Wildcats in this finals, if you think about it.
Lots of Wildcats everywhere. And just to follow up on the stat that Gary and Kevin were talking about, is that the Heat now are tied for the most wins when trailing by 10 plus points in the postseason in the last 25 years. Along with the Miami Heat from 2011 and 2012, and then also along with the Warriors from 2022. So the Miami Heat are comeback kings so far, it seems. And Jaevon, you told the story about Poole at the beginning of the podcast, and I just got to tell a quick tangent just to brush off my own shoulders and also to give these guys a shout out, because I'm in a group chat with my cousin Chris, who's an older cousin, like 15 years older than me, lives in San Diego, and it's with all of his friends, right? And it's a FanDuel league just to like join, play fantasy FanDuel. And it's like we play $5.
Kevin's blessed.
Everyone throws in $5 like every game that we play, and $5 to $10. I constantly lose because it's winner take all, and I always finish in second place.
Damn.
Well, I finally won yesterday. I haven't been playing every time anymore because I'm tired of losing my money, but I decided to play yesterday. And I just want to give a shout out to Max Strus, to to Gabe Vincent as well, because starting off that game, they were just getting my numbers up. And then Jokic and Aaron Gordon, as well as Jamal Murray, they carried me to the victory.
How much you get for
getting? Well, you can do the math. There was 8 people total, so not counting myself, so 7. I got $5 from everyone. So it's so much money. I mean, it's a lot better than losing that $5 constantly. So I just want to give a shout out to that group chat, because they always talk shit to me in that group chat because I'm the youngest, and some of them do say that they tune in. So if they actually have tuned in and they're not lying, this is the shout out you guys have been asking for. So
appreciate that.
There you go. Do you guys have any other thoughts on the NBA Finals so far through 2 games before we move on?
I think we got to get your guys' Game 3 picks.
I'm going with the Nuggets because I am sticking with my Nuggets in 5 pick. It's like, okay, the Heat, they got their one early, but I think the Nuggets are going to continue to prove that they're the best team in the NBA this year. And so I got the Nuggets winning Game 3 and the next 3 games in total. What do you think, Kevin? I mean, answer your own question there.
Next time we come on this podcast, man, it's gonna be Heat 3-1.
Wow. Kevin says the Heat win 3 games in a row. So Jaevon, you also
I
said
just
Nuggets
checked.
in 5.
Or no, 2 round. No, we'll be here before the. Because when's the next game?
It's game 5. We're gonna be next Monday is gonna be game 5. So we're gonna guarantee have that game, and it's gonna be So either we're gonna have a 3-2 or we're gonna see how it's gonna shake. It could be done. Technically, it could be done. Could be done next time we're on this pod. If Shaun and them are right, if it's 4-1,
that'd be nuts.
You mean when Shaun and Jaevon are right? Mm-hmm. Jaevon, what do you think?
I gamble, so Heat are plus 115 right now. That's juicy, so I'm taking the Heat plus 115.
Oh, he said, juicy. Fuck my own pick.
It's juicy, but
I'm
following the money. Following that bag, Kev. So I like Jokic over in points, though. I think it's over. Jesus, it's like 33. 33 is over, and I take the over on his points. But I like Heat money line plus 115. Got to take it. They're coming off a win in Denver, and they're going home with the momentum. I don't know how they're in plus money, but they're the dogs. So both games they were minus like 300 favorite dogs. So I mean, if you bet on the Heat to win this last game, want some money for sure.
Almost did, Toddy.
They're like plus 250 or something, 280, something crazy. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hearing all of this great advice, right? And you were saying how it's juicy seeing the Heat plus 115 right now. Yeah. And so now I'm going to put you on the spot, Jaevon, live here on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. When is the first edition of Vonnie's Hotline? The people need to hear the betting advice. So then dude, I was trying to pay my rent. You didn't even have it. And so now I can't pay my rent. I'm waiting on Vonnie's Hotline to start.
Kevin is people. I need it too.
I guess we started this week. So Hotline, it could be Heat money line. When's the next game? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
It's the 7th. Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Heat money line. Vonnie's Hotline. Week 1. We could go for 1. We could go 1-0. So I'm rocking.
You got to pick the next one too, Von. Game 4, because we ain't gonna be here to give that one up. So what you got?
And the pin is out. Time to get the record for the Hotline.
I'll take the Heat. I'll take the Heat to win.
Kevin, you see this whole new sheet of paper? This is just for Vonnie's Hotline. We're gonna see how accurate the hotline is.
We'll take. We can do 2 picks this week, so we'll take. Let me see what his over is. So we'll definitely take Heat money line plus 115. You can write that in there. I want to see
Stamp that.
Yeah. Gary, go ahead and step that. I want to see what his over is in points really fast. We're checking that right now.
For who?
Jokic. Jokic is
Butler?
over.
Jokic?
29 for Jokic. I'm hammering the over on that.
Oh, we are hammering the over. Hammer. We're not being cautious. We're hammering it.
Yeah, they want him to have
bling it. Hotline bling that thing.
I am writing in all capital letters. That means it's serious.
Jimmy's points
Hammer.
is 25.
Jokic 29 points.
25.5. That's a lot, but he hasn't really been scoring as of late. Jamal Murray threes on the lookout.
So that's already 2. Are you gonna continue throwing out picks right now?
He's gonna give you the 3. He's gonna give you a little parlay real quick.
Give us a third. We need a decent parlay. This parlay needs to have some legs. No 2-legger. It needs to be 3 legs.
Jamal Murray is
let it be a tripod.
Jamal Murray is minus 1.
What's Jamal Murray's? I bet you take Jamal's. He's not having back-to-back games now.
His I'm looking.
He didn't even play bad in game 2. It's like 18 points. Yeah, that's probably not what you wanted, but
I'm looking at threes. Jamal Murray
for this playoff run.
They want him to have 3.
I wish he played 18 points.
He had like 10. He had like 10 going into the 4th, and then he got a couple buckets there in the 4th.
His is 25 minus 122. I like.
All right, final call on the hotline. I know I put you on the spot here, but final call on the hotline.
I like Jamal Murray over in threes.
Okay, well, how many threes is the over under set at?
It's 2.5. So I wanted to hit 3.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
good. That's
oh
good,
yeah,
man.
yeah, that's easy money.
He gets them up though, so he shoots like 8 a game, 7 a game. So he hit 2 the first game, but he hit 3 this last game. So we love that.
You said it's plus 2.5.
Could have been 4
or
with that last shot. Could have been 4.
Yeah, it's 2.5 at
Yeah.
minus 170.
Give me that. Yeah, I'm taking that.
So that parlay, I can't parlay because I don't have FanDuel people.
Yeah, people didn't want to legalize it. Yeah, I'm there with you, Jaevon.
So plus 115.
That's why we have that group chat with my cousin, is because FanDuel isn't legal in California. Is it legal in Oregon, Kevin?
Oh, yeah,
Just got legalized.
He's a beautiful man. Beautiful man.
Easy
Kevin,
transactions.
you might as well put that parlay in and just kind of see what it looks like. Heat money line, Jokic over points, and we got Jamal Murray plus 2.5 or 2.5 minus 170. But if you parlayed it if you did Jokic and Jamal Murray, Jokic over in points, and then Jamal Murray in threes, that's plus 206. So $100 gets you 3, or it basically gives you $207. So
Damn, Toddy said $100 gonna get you. Toddy
it's
2
to 1. It's 2 to 1. Basically.
Toddy said we going to Chicago
Double
5,
you
baby.
up.
Well, there you go. That is the first
gonna double you
edition of Vonnie's Hotline. And now that we know you're officially going to be given the picks, I mean, we got to be ready for next week now. Like, we're going to come into this, and you're just going to take the torch and run with it, just like Kevin does with Factor Cap. I mean, you're going to take it, you're going to run with it.
Cap. I really like.
We're also going to get you some background music as well. So you and I we will talk about the instrumental. Kevin, I mean, I kind of on the spot, I kind of gave you the extra one that I had, but I think it's pretty good. The one that you got, it's called Freedom. I get them on freebeats.io.
Freedom.
I mean, it's super clutch. Anyways, just real quickly before we do move on, I just wanted to reiterate the picks that we all made last week. So Jaevon and I both have the Nuggets in 5. We'll see if that actually happens. And then Kevin has the Heat in 7. Gary has the Nuggets in 7. But Gary really
we didn't give our
wants to
official
see it go
picks
7.
For game 3.
What do you think? What is it gonna be next time on this pod? I was gonna say, I think after 4 games, I don't know if it's game 3 or 4, but I think it'll be tied up 2-2. And I think that it's gonna be 3-2.
You can take those as straights, or you could parlay that. It depends on how you feel.
Maybe in New York, he can bet it right now.
Yeah.
3. I'm gonna take 3-2. 3-2 Denver. Next Monday, we're back on the pod. Denver will be up 3-2.
Kevin, you did give us your pick after 4 games. Are you saying that Miami wins it in 5, or do you got it 3-2, Kevin?
3-2.
All right,
3-2
Miami.
Miami,
3-2 Miami. And Gary, was that? I'm sorry. Just repeat it one more
3-2
time.
Denver. 3-2
Okay.
Denver leads.
Okay, Jaevon, is the series over next Monday, or are you going 3-2 as well?
I'm gonna say 3-2 Denver. Probably.
He's just abandoning his pick.
Man,
he just gave up his whole pick.
I
know.
We gotta start making graphics so we can hold them to it.
Yeah,
That
I
don't
know.
mean you pick down the drain.
Take the information from the notepad. Like, do you see the little checks? That means it's right, and X means no. Take the data from the notepad and then turn it into. I mean, we have the records. We have the records for Shaun's pop quiz. Kevin being at the top, very lonely at the top, and we could take this data and then we could turn it into graphics. So yeah, that'd be interesting. All right, cool.
Shaun, what you got?
What are you talking?
Is it
for
over?
me?
Is it over game? It should be over, right? For you?
Yeah. I ain't like Jaevon. I'm sticking with my pick, man. I'm sticking with my pick.
World on Monday.
3 straight. 3 straight for the Nuggets. Clip it. TikTok. Let's go. 3 straight for the Nuggets. Nuggets in 5. Nuggets in 5.
Remind me of the
stick
Suns
with
in
my
5
pick.
guy.
Suns in 4.
Oh, it was
exactly.
4. Okay, it was 4.
That boy made so much money.
So news of today is that free agent